Hey everyone, I got exciting news. I'm getting retrenched and I'm super psyched about it. And I'll share with you why I think I'm in such a great position right now. See, I've been in this role for just over 4 years. And in these past 4 years, I did not feel any form of satisfaction, contentment, or any form of growth that I've experienced. It's just like these 4 years just flew by without me ever realizing. It's not like I haven't been in another position or another company or another industry. I have. And throughout all those in my career, I haven't felt any form of satisfaction that I was looking for. I didn't think I developed much, and because of that, I feel very stagnant in life. I didn't feel like I achieved anything. I want to share with you a story that happened to me many years ago that I still think about it till today. So I was young. I was like in the early 20s. I was serving my national service. If you don't know, national service is 2 years you give to your nation for serving the country. So you're not paid that well. So my friend approached me and asked me if I want to make some money on the side for like a 1 day gig, which is helping out with in a catering company. So it was really like a back-breaking job. Like you are carrying like trays of food and refilling it, and it was really tiring. By the end of the day, I think it was like maybe 8 o'clock at night. Everything ended, and I was paid $50. $50 was a lot to me back then, so I was like, yes, $50. I earned this $50. And after the whole thing, you were like, okay, maybe after all this work, we deserve some drinks, and just to reward ourselves. So we went out for drinks, and after that, I realized I spent the whole of $50 on drinks that night. And I remember thinking to myself how stupid that was. I literally netted $0 for that day. I worked, I earned, and I spent it all. What am I doing? It would be the same if I would just have slept in throughout the day, not have drinks. It would be exactly the same. I would have netted zero as well. Okay. And the thing about that story is it reminds me of what I'm going through right now in my current job. In the past 4 years, up until now, I didn't feel any growth. And like that story, I feel that I've netted zero. And that is the first good thing about this retrenchment, that I get to stop this routine, stop this autopilot in my life, and get to think out of the box what I want to do next. When you are on autopilot on your daily life, the inertia is pretty strong. Like you are comfortable, you don't really want to change anything because you have a certain routine. You work day in, day out, you go out for your social obligations, you go out on the weekends, you have fun, and you go back to work. Looking for another job, doing something else, it's just too much resistance. But this retrenchment actually puts a stop to everything and forces you to rethink on your life and what you're going to do next. And that is the first good thing about this. Number two, now you have all the time and all the freedom, you can start that project that you always thought about starting. You can learn a new skill, you can learn how to program, you can learn how to start a vlog, you can learn how to invest, you can learn how to do video editing, you can learn how to knit. You literally can learn anything. Pick up a book, learn a new skill. These are the things that you always have excuses not to do when you're working. It's like at the end of the day, I'm tired after work, I just want to eat and go to sleep. Or in the weekends, like, I deserve some fun after a whole week of work, so I don't have the time to read a book, I don't have the time to pick up a skill. Now that you have the time, there really is no excuse, whether you want to do it or not, but you have to be honest with yourself. And now you also have the freedom to be anywhere in the world. You don't have to be where you are right now. When you're working, you have 2 weeks of vacation leave to go somewhere to decompress, go to Bali for 2 weeks, go to Phuket for 2 weeks, and come back and go back to work. Now you have all the freedom to be anywhere for any amount of time. You could be in South America, you could be in Central Asia for as long as you want to decompress. It will be good for you mentally and also put you in a better headspace to think about where you want to go from now on. A lot of people say you should work first and travel when you retire, and I absolutely disagree. The experience you have traveling when you're young and the experience you will have traveling when you're older and like 60 or 65 when you retire will be totally different. And the type of travel you will do will be totally different as well. For me personally, if I were to travel when I'm 60 or 65, I want a comfortable and convenient travel. I want to sit on a tour bus. I just want to go from point A to point B, have lunch, go to a tour bus, and then back to the hotel. Now that you have the gift of youth, it is the best time to travel because the adventures you have is going to be absolutely different. You can take a bus across the countries, travel for 4 days straight. You can meet different people. You can track the mountains. You can have an absolutely amazing adventure, one that you cannot have when you're older. Of course, when you're older, you can have your own adventure, but it's not going to be the same. The feeling's not going to be the same. And the lessons you learn is not going to apply as much when you're older as when you are younger. So those of you who have always thought about traveling but never really had the guts to step out of your comfort zone, this is your time. In 2016, I quit my first job right out of university after working for almost 2 years. I decided that I want to backpack as long as I can to see the world. I remember sitting at my desk one day at work, thinking to myself, is this what I want for the rest of my life? I remember thinking that if I were to continue staying in that role, in that job, for the next 3 years, 4 years, like anybody would just to prove that they are a good employee, I would not like where life was headed. I don't think being there was what I want, and I don't think being there will help me grow in the direction that I want to be. When I came back, I felt different. I felt different from everybody else. Not to say that I'm better, but I felt more mature, I felt more adaptable, I felt I understand the world better. You have a more intimate understanding of the world. Not to say that I know a lot more, but I experienced more. I ended up going back to the traditional path and finding another job. And this was 6 years ago. Now 6 years after my first backpacking solo trip, I still did not feel the same fulfillment, the same contentment, or felt that I have developed as much as in that 6-7 months that I've traveled. Yeah, maybe life is not just about money and status and promotions. Maybe life is about self-development. At least that's what I believe in. And taking this opportunity to do that, it's one great thing about this retrenchment. And last but not least, the best thing about retrenchment is the severance pay. Severance pay is the amount of money you get at the end of your employment. Not when you're fired, but when your company closes down. Severance pay could be the additional bump for you to pursue that project, to start your own business, to do anything you want to do. It's not just for you to survive until you find a new job, but it's an additional fund to fund your opportunity to do whatever you want. And for me, this severance pay really helps a lot into me focusing on my project and on my next journey. If it's not clear yet, once I'm getting retrenched, I'm going to travel and start vlogging. To the question of where I'm going to travel to remains a mystery for now, but I can assure you it will be countries less traveled. Feel free to follow me on the upcoming weeks and months on the countries that I'm going to venture to. So that's it. Being retrenched does not have to be a bad thing. It gives you the opportunity to re-evaluate your life, to think about what you really want to do. And also with the extra time and extra freedom, and of course the severance pay, there's really nothing stopping you from taking the extra step to get where you want to be and not be on autopilot your whole life. I know some people are in a crossroad where they get retrenched or they get fired or just something abrupt happens to your life and they're looking for a certain nudge on a certain direction. Maybe these videos will help you get over that obstacle and pursue what you really want to do. For me, it's travel, and for me, it's vlogging.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.